This video is for absolute beginners. I'm going to teach you the different types of screws that you're going to encounter as you're building and putting stuff together. You'll often hear screws referred to as fasteners, but fasteners is just an umbrella term because there's different types of fasteners. You have fasteners up here, the umbrella term, and then beneath fasteners you've got screws, nails, bolts. You get the point. Before I introduce you to the different types of screws, it's very important you understand the anatomy of the screw. A screw consists of 5 parts. 1, the head. 2, the drive, which is the part where the screwdriver or the drill bit goes into. Number 3 is the shank, which is the smooth area between the head and the thread. Number 4 are the threads, and number 5 is the point. It's very important that you know these 5 parts when you're shopping for a screw because screws have different variations of each of those parts. So what are the different types of screws? Number 1, the most common screw used by DIYers is the wood screw. These screws are designed for fastening wood to wood. They typically have very coarse threads, which gives them a good strong grip and enhances their holding power. Wood screws also have a very sharp point so that they go into the wood accurately and with ease. They also come in a variety of head shapes, and they also come in a variety of materials, as you saw. The reason why is different grades of steel offer various levels of strength and load-bearing capabilities. Another reason they're made out of different materials is the different environmental conditions, right? Indoor, outdoor, hot, cold, high humidity, low humidity. Some finishes are more corrosion resistant than others. For example, the stainless steel screw is more corrosion resistant than carbon steel screws. So that's wood screws. These are your classic screws for woodworking. Think of cabinets, furniture assembly, decking, framing, construction, etc. Number 2 would be machine screws. So wood screws fasten wood to wood. Machine screws fasten metal to metal. The threads are very uniform along the entire shaft. Machine screws are designed to be paired with a nut, or they are designed to go into a tapped hole. Now you might ask, what's a tapped hole? This is a very important concept for you to understand. A tapped hole is a pre-made hole that has been threaded internally to accept the screw. So check it out. I got 2 screws here, a wood screw and a machine screw. When you screw in the machine screw, the threads are not cutting their own path in the material as you're screwing it in, like a wood screw would do. Instead, the internal threading is already prepared ahead of time and matches the threading of the machine screw. So all you have to do is just screw the screw into the hole that has already been prepared for it. That is a tapped hole. So the machine screw is not a self-tapping screw. A self-tapping screw creates its own threads as it's being driven into the material. Even if you drilled a hole first with a drill bit, the inside of that hole would be smooth. So whatever screw you're going to put into that hole, it would have to be a self-tapping screw that's going to create its own grooves on the inside. The wood screw is a self-tapping screw. It's critical you understand that difference when you're trying to understand screws. So 2 types of screws, you've got self-tapping and the other one. The machine screw needs a hole prepared for it. Machine screws are made for machinery. Think farm tractors, welding robots, assembly lines, appliances. Think washing machine, refrigerator, oven, dishwasher. Electronic devices. Think television, computer hardware, even the stuff on this camera right here. Machine screws are also used in the automotive industry for fastening parts together, fastening engines, transmissions together. You get the point. And same with wood screws. They come in various sizes, lengths, head shapes, materials. Number 3, drywall screws. So wood screws designed to fasten wood to wood, machine screws, metal to metal, drywall screws, drywall to wood framing, or drywall to metal framing, and in some less common occasions, drywall to drywall. For those of you who are not familiar with what drywall is, I told you this is for beginners. It's this stuff. This is sheetrock. Sheetrock and drywall, same thing. Well, when you said beginners, you didn't say children. Sorry guys. Look, you understand this stuff I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. So as a result, you have 3 basic types of drywall screws. 1 for when the drywall is going into wood, 2 when the drywall is going on metal framing, and 3 when the drywall is combining with drywall. The difference in the 3 types is in the threading. So check it out. The one going into wood has very coarse threading, just like the wood screw right here. Very similar. That coarse threading gives it its strong grip and extreme hold. And the one going into metal is right here. See how the threading is very fine? And when I say fine, I mean very close together. So this one goes into wood, and this one goes into metal. The one that fastens drywall to drywall is called a laminating screw. It's also very coarse. I don't have one of those with me, but that's more of a specialty screw anyways. So that's the differences in the 3. Now here are the similarities. One of the distinctive features of the drywall screw is all 3 of them will have a bugle-shaped head. A bugle is a brass instrument, kind of like a small trumpet. It has a smooth, sweeping curve on the underside, just like the mouth of a trumpet, and that's why it's called bugle-headed. This is to prevent surface damage because the smooth curve prevents the paper finish on the sheetrock from tearing as you're screwing it in. And another common distinctive is that these screws are all typically covered in this black phosphate, and that's just to make them corrosion resistant so they don't rust. Moving right along, number 4 would be the self-drilling screw. A self-drilling screw has a drill-like point on the tip. This design allows it to puncture its own pilot hole in the metal, which eliminates the need for a pre-drilled hole, which ultimately saves time. Whenever you're wanting to drill into metal, you either have to drill a hole first, they call it a pilot hole, or you have to have a screw that's going to drill the hole for you. And these screws, they have a tip here that looks exactly like a drill bit you would use to put a hole in metal. And so naturally, as a result, because these drill their own hole, you look at the threads, they're very coarse. These screws are also self-tapping. So as they're being driven into the metal, they're creating their own internal threads. Whatever you do, don't confuse the words self-tapping and self-drilling. People do it all the time, and it causes headaches to no end. This wood screw right here also has a self-drilling tip, and I'm going to show you on the B-roll. The tip on this wood screw is a self-drilling tip. Take a look at it. You see how part of it's missing? You look at the end there and it looks exactly like a drill bit. So no pilot hole is necessary when you use this type of a wood screw. So the self-drilling feature comes on a variety of screws. The benefit for it being on the wood screw is that whenever you have a drill bit penetrating the wood, you have this type of a screw penetrating the wood, it's easier on the wood and you're a lot less likely to cause it to split. So you're a lot less likely to damage the wood when you use this type of a screw. Number 5 is the concrete screw, also referred to as masonry screws or concrete anchors. The 3 of those words are kind of used interchangeably, but they all refer to the same thing, the concrete screw. This screw is designed to fasten wood or metal to concrete, bricks, or blocks. They are extremely tough. To use them, you have to pre-drill the hole first. So they're definitely not self-drilling screws. They require a special drill bit, and a lot of the times the drill bit and the screws are sold together in a kit. And the easiest way to use the drill bit with these is to use the drill bit in a hammer drill. And even though these are not self-drilling, they are self-tapping. So the drill bit makes a normal smooth hole in the inside, and then these screws have a special aggressive threading that allows them to cut their own threading path as they're being screwed into the concrete. These are 2 different concrete screws here, but look at the threading. This one has an alternating high and low threads, and that just helps it cut and grip into the concrete. And then just take a close look at the tip of the other one, and you'll see how those 3 threads there look completely different from the rest. Another distinctive and noticeable difference, as you saw, is a lot of these concrete screws have a blue coating on them, and that just increases their corrosion resistance and increases their durability. And as usual, they come in different head shapes here and lengths. Number 6 would be cement board screws, also known as concrete board screws. And once again, the terms are used interchangeably, but they refer to the same thing. These screws are designed to fasten cement board to wood or metal framing. Cement board is a lot like drywall, but cement board is a lot more sturdier and water resistant. It's used as an underlay for tile installations. So for example, if you were installing a natural stone shower, a natural stone walk-in shower in your bathroom, cement board would be used as the underlay for that. And just like the drywall screw, they will vary slightly depending on if the cement board is going into wood or if it's going into metal. This one is for wood and this one is for metal. The one for wood employs the high-low thread design here, and the metal one has the metal self-drilling tip. It would be a mistake to use a drywall screw with cement board because these screws are specifically designed for high moisture areas. And these screws are much more durable and more corrosion resistant because they're made for the wet environments. Number 7, the deck screw. Now technically this is a wood screw, so it could be classified under number 1 with the wood screws. But deck screws are specifically designed for outdoor use on decks, fencing. You get the point. Their key features is that they are made with corrosion-resistant materials to withstand the exposure to the outdoor elements, the moisture, the rain, the snow, the temperature changes, and so that they won't rust and corrode easy. But you can see the different finishes. I've got 2 green ones there, a gray one. Number 8 would be sheet metal screws. Sheet metal screws designed to work with sheet metal. So think of your gutters, think of the air duct in your attic for your central heat and air. Some of them have extremely sharp and pointy heads like these because they are designed to pierce through thin metals. And when I say thin, I mean stuff that's not much bigger than a 1/16 of an inch, like gutter downspouts. Sheet metal screws also come in these self-drilling points, right? So they can be self-drilling screws. And like all screws, they come in different materials, sizes, and heads, as you can see here. Number 9 would be lag screws, also known as lag bolts. These right here are your heavy-duty wood screws. They're used for securing heavy-duty lumber, beams, posts. And as you can see, they're larger in diameter than the regular wood screw. They still have the coarse threading to give them that strong grip and secure hold. And another distinctive feature is they have this hex-shaped head right here. So the way that you install them is you pre-drill the hole first and then you rotate a socket wrench whenever you drive them in. And lastly, I went over all that stuff. You got the multi-purpose screw. You have the multi-purpose cleaner, you got the multi-purpose screw. Multi-purpose screws can be used on drywall, decking, metals, wood. These 2 right here are examples of multi-purpose screws. One of them, if you look at it, is self-drilling, has a self-drilling tip, and the other one is not. It just has a regular tip. So that's it, my friends. Those are the basic primary screw types. Now there are other specialty screw types because there's like a bazillion screws, but that's for another video. I just wanted to go over the basics in this video for you, kind of get you started. Thank you so much for checking out the video. If you liked it, you found it valuable, give it a big clean with confidence thumbs up. It really helps me out. And until next time, I'll see you soon.